Where is
There we are.
Mr. Speaker?
Yeah, Team Anna House of Commons.
Can you motion for me to chair?
Where is Mr. Speaker?
Go on, motion me to chair.
Yeah, you
I'd
two.
rather kill myself, Doc.
Please motion Doc Henders to chair your session,
I'd watch
please.
it behind and do a something from bench.
You are not an elite
from
deputy,
bench.
so you may not run.
Yes, Winston, bro.
Doc, at this rate, I'll motion to sit in private.
Oh, get a grip, you funny.
Oh, yeah,
Why
that's
do
really
the
good.
Lords even have speaking permission in here? Can we like mute them, please? Like,
No, there's nothing wrong with the law.
Try to mute me.
Doc, that comment's really going to win the British public over.
I'm a fucking crossbencher. I couldn't give a shit.
Ash, let me know when you're in game so I can see you, mate.
Just please motion to let me chair your session. We will get started.
Yeah.
We can't motion until we're in
sure
session.
they can't spit motion if there's no chair, though.
Just let a
Oh,
chair.
shit.
That'll work, that'll work.
Shall I just do it then?
Well, no, because you're not the chair.
Well, I know, but
Sure,
it could
there's
be...
clerk.
The clerk's not here either, I don't think.
Viscount Swindon, you're a
Oh,
bend
for God's sake,
No.
Roger, I was hoping I wouldn't see
Please
you
point
here.
out it's called Clark, not
What
Clark.
just? Oh my god.
Aiden,
This
shut the
kid
fuck up, man.
rejoins again.
No, it's really annoying. It's Clark. It's not Clerk.
It's fucking...
Roger, stay in the call. Don't leave
Doc, can I ask
again.
you an important
Dear
question?
Madden.
Has anyone got, like, curbs to be
Well, too bad. Are you in America?
Why can't we just nominate an MP like just on a whim?
Don't you have a chairman of Ways and Means yet?
Nope.
How about we just
You lot are useless.
collectively elect one?
Like, no offense. But what the fuck?
Is that Albert P. Grantham?
Which one of those Britain First backbenchers?
Sky
wants to
Teemus.
do it?
Yeah, hold on, give me a
Who
second.
says a
How have
Britain
you not got a
first
chairman of
country
Ways and
wants
Means?
Well, okay, so... Yeah,
Is this still on Sky News?
Probably.
Shit.
And the clerks love us. Like, I don't know why.
Just
Doc,
let me do it.
Doc, are you an American?
Can we not get the
I am-
fire of the house to go up?
I'm
or...
not an American.
Yeah, who's the father
Why
of
are
the
you
house?
the American
Yeah,
policy?
Fal, if you want to go up, yeah.
No, don't let him do it. Let me do it.
Shut up,
Right,
Doc.
Shut
Oh,
up!
please,
honestly.
man. Let us do the session.
Yeah, I will.
Right, order
once you
paper.
start.
Isn't the Black Rod technically a clerk?
The Black Rod can
No.
go fuck himself. How about that?
Wow.
Sorry, Black Rod.
Oh,
Can we start with
epic
the harsh,
roast.
can we start with the
Epic
harsh
roast,
language?
Sky News. Epic roast. Whoa.
Fuck off, Charles. I don't care if it's live.
Ah, Charles Bitchener.
Yeah, I know.
Right. We'll start in 2 minutes.
Can we
Alright,
start
so I've
now?
got just got
We were
2
supposed to start
minutes.
3 minutes ago.
Yeah, can we not
Speaker is
start
not
now?
here.
Can we start now,
Speaker's-
please?
Okay, yeah. Let's start
We
now.
are
Right.
We are on this.
Doc, shut up. This house is
I
now
am-
in session.
I am.
Order. Right, we now begin with oral questions to the Prime Minister. Which backbencher wants to do question number 1? Okay, we're just going to stand here.
I'll do question number 1 then.
Albert P. Grantham,
Number 1, Mr. Speaker.
Prime Minister.
I have met with ministerial colleagues and other people. More meetings will be given to this house soon.
Callum. Is Callum. Okay, Megamite. Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I just want to say it's great to be here, and I look forward to many more of these Wednesday question times. First of all, Mr. Speaker, the government discussed in their King's Speech strengthening international relations. However, we have seen an international crisis in Antigua and Barbuda with no response from the government. In fact, His Majesty the King has issued a statement, and yet we have nothing from the government. Can the Prime Minister explain his government's failure to respond?
Prime Minister.
Firstly, I'd like to congratulate the new leader of the opposition on his election as the Conservative leader. I thank him for this question, but I can assure this House that the government has been in talks with the representatives within Antigua and Barbuda to hopefully come to a resolution. In fact, we have hopefully secured their place in our new Commonwealth, which we are hopefully establishing soon, and more information will be provided to the British public about that in the coming days. Mr. Speaker, I assure the House that there is no neglect on behalf of this government regarding the Foreign and Commonwealth Affairs Office. We are actively seeking to strengthen our position on the international stage, whether that be through gaining alliances with other nations as well as basic diplomacy.
Leader of the opposition.
You're
your
muted.
mic.
You're muted. You're muted.
Sorry about that. I'm not used to this. It's been a while. The former Defence Secretary Dean Marston recently resigned from government. It's evident that he was the most popular government minister. Did his resignation come as a surprise to the Prime Minister?
Prime Minister.
With all resignations, I first have got to thank him for his service. Yeah, the resignation did come to a shock to me, but I can assure this House that our government will keep moving. We have swiftly appointed someone to replace the individual, and we will continue to deliver on our defence policies and our defence plans as outlined within the King's Speech. We are still continuing to work alongside the Chief of Defence Staff, who is currently bringing the armed forces back to the activity it once was, under which unfortunately fell under General Saunders. Once again, I can assure this House that the new Defence Secretary will work towards the same goals our old Defence Secretary worked for.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. BAF recruitment states that the Air Force is open. Can the Prime Minister confirm that this is the case?
Prime Minister.
The Air Force has opened as a single squadron linked directly with the 16th Air Assault Brigade. This has been done to allow aerial capabilities as well as to expand our area of interest to hopefully get more people within the armed forces. This decision was taken alongside leading defence individuals such as the Chief of Defence Staff, alongside others on the Defence Council, and was guided as a result of our Defence Efficiency Review Committee.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Building on this, can the Prime Minister explain why it was not mentioned once in his manifesto that a new branch would be opened? Surely opening a branch is major enough to warrant a mention in their electoral promises.
Prime Minister.
Within our manifesto, we stated that we would establish a Defence Efficiency and Review Committee. Following the conclusion of this committee, it was provided to us that the general public and leading experts in defence believed that the opening of a new branch was necessary for the survival of the British Armed Forces. Mr. Speaker and members of the House, I can assure the Prime Minister. I can assure this House that every step was taken to ensure that the opening of the RAF was done in a reasonable manner. The reason it was not outlined in our manifesto was, at that point, the Defence and Efficiency Review Committee had not yet formed, and their findings were not yet published, and the government did not have access to such.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In his appointment statement, the Chancellor of the Exchequer mentioned how he also holds the position of Secretary of State for British Values. Can the Prime Minister please enlighten this House as to the purpose of this ministry and why he deemed it necessary to include in his government?
British
Minister.
values.
Mr. Speaker, British values are a core to this nation, and our party, Britain First, preaches such values. We believe that this portfolio is extensive, and this portfolio will provide stability to this country. It will ultimately provide the nation with values it needs. Mr. Speaker, we do intend in the future to establish the department following other manifesto pledges.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Constitutional Reform Bill was meant to be having its first and second readings today in the House of Lords. Does the Prime Minister support this legislation?
Prime Minister.
I have reviewed the legislation, and members of my cabinet have given mention to it. We do believe that the core of the legislation does have merit. However, we feel that there can be amendments made to such. For example, the term lengths for judges. Although we do overall support the Act and hope to see it through this Parliament following due amendments.
Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In the recently published Defense Efficiency Review, the Armed Forces leadership was described as inactive and incompetent. Can the Prime Minister elaborate on what has been done to tackle this other than the removal of the CDS?
Prime Minister.
There's been a complete overhaul of the military command by the newly appointed Chief of Defence Staff. The new command are actively trying to solve the misdemeanours of the old Defence Council. I can assure this House that every step is being taken to ensure that the command in BAF at the moment is as effective and efficient as possible, and we are actively working alongside the Defence Council to provide them support where necessary. While the old defence staff were indeed inefficient and ultimately inactive, the new appointed Chief of Defence Staff and his subsequent appointments are not the same people and do provide activity to the British Armed Forces, as we hope to display through upcoming events.
Leader of the Opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The former Defence Secretary met with a number of international dignitaries during his tenure, but the Foreign Secretary so far has made none. Can the Prime Minister explain why the Defence Secretary was doing the Foreign Secretary's job?
Prime Minister.
I'd like to correct the Leader of the Opposition. There has been meetings with by the Foreign Secretary, one being with the President of South Africa regarding them joining our Commonwealth. However, I can assure the House that that the Foreign Secretary is actively working within the Foreign Commonwealth Development Office and alongside the ambassadors to ensure that our presence on the international stage is maintained. The Defence Secretary, the prior Defence Secretary, his meetings with foreign dignitaries were for another reason. They were intended to strengthen our military ties, as we have pledged in our manifesto, that being that we hope to have joined military operations with other nations for training purposes, as well as to ensure that the British Armed Forces have something fun and meaningful to do other than just drillings.
Are there any further questions to the Prime Minister? We have to stand up if you want to ask a question.
I'm good, yeah.
Katie Aha, can we please not speak unless called?
Running out.
What?
43, Mr. Speaker, 43.
What did he even say? Right, are there any further questions that are actually correct, that are actually serious?
So me saying how are you isn't serious?
No.
Is that what you're saying? So
Yes.
his health does not matter?
Albert P. Grantham, no it doesn't.
Just say my name properly and then I'll talk.
Right.
Alright, whatever. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Prime Minister assures us that the Foreign Secretary had meetings. Can he encourage the Foreign Secretary to post said meetings so we know he had them?
Prime
He
Minister.
did?
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
No, he did. Shut up, Hayden. You're literally unparliamentary attire. Shut up. You room
He
flirt.
literally deferring.
Prime Minister.
Mr. Speaker, our pledge for transparency is something which we hope to maintain. However, not all meetings can be announced, as we do not want to flood government communication channels. I can confirm to his house that meetings with Antigua and Barbuda occurred, as well as other meetings with potential Commonwealth nations. I can confirm to his house that as of now, there are a total of 5 nations, including our own within the Commonwealth, and we hope to expand that. Meetings with foreign dignitaries will be published to the government communication channels when we feel that they are meaningful.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my experience in Row Nations, a lot of politicians, especially those who take a British nationalist stance on their policies, have often pursued, at first, a Commonwealth and then later the restoration of some form of empire. Can the Prime Minister please assure the House that this will not be the case in his term?
Prime Minister.
The establishment of the British Empire is not something that we want to see. The British Empire is something which has led to our current culture, but it is exactly that, something of the past. While the British Empire does have a space in all our hearts as Brits, we do not want to see its restoration. Instead, we want to have mutual communications with former subjects of the Empire and nations within our Commonwealth.
Are there any further questions? None. Right. The question is that the question be put forward, that we move on
What
to the
question?
first
We don't need
the
to,
question.
surely.
Well, do you have a question to the Prime Minister? Which you
No,
can't
surely we can
ask
just
any
move on then.
Minister.
Surely we can just move on then if there's no more questions.
That is fair enough, actually. Right. Doc, shut up. Right, we now move on to the first reading of the Metropolitan Senior Appointments Bill 2024.
Point of order, Mr. Speaker.
Point of order,
Got a
Mr.
point of
Speaker.
order.
Mr. Point of order, point of order.
Speaker, stop.
Point of order, Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Cheers. Thanks, Mr. Speaker. Is a helmet parliamentary?
We have no standing orders, actually, so...
You
there's
have no
rules.
standing orders, fuck me.
Someone deleted half
Okay.
of them, so...
Alright, fair.
It was
You
Gavin
live to fight another
Williamson.
day, Hayden. I will come for you on that under.
Is the clerk going to read the long title of the bill?
Mr. Clark.
Get that clip.
That was
Oh,
clear.
it's on Sky, isn't it? It's okay, it's fine. I don't
Mr.
care.
Speaker, in the defence of Hayden, he's got a head injury.
That's true.
You're
Yeah, that's
using your
true.
iPad, you lazy cuck.
Hang on, do you want me to do the clerk's job for the clerk and read the long
Yeah.
title of the bill?
Yeah.
Where is
What
it?
a
Hang on.
tosser. What a tosser.
Shut up,
Shut up.
Doc.
A bill to transfer the powers of the Mayor's Office for Policing and Crime under sections 42, 43, and 48 of the Police Reform and Social Responsibility Act 2011 to the Secretary of State for the Home Department.
Right.
Now you call the Leader of the House.
Leader of the House?
Yeah, thanks, Father Figure. The second reading of the Metropolitan Police and Senior Appointments Bill will be heard this coming Friday.
Lovely.
Here, bloody here.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's got
Now-
severe dad
Right,
issues.
order. We now move on to the adjournment debate on the Met.
But why
Oh,
can't I
what's
call
the
him the
issue?
Father Figure?
Actually,
Member
my
of
line.
Parliament for Cumbria.
Mr.
Because he's
Speaker,
14.
on a member, no, not on a member, on a scale of 1 to 10, how active is London? 1 being really active, 10 being so inactive. If so, why?
Point of order, point of order, point of order.
Right, point of order, whoever asked.
Mr. Speaker, he can't ask questions in a debate, and he knows that.
Mr. Speaker, it was a hypothetical question. And I addressed it to the
Home
House,
Secretary.
not a person, which is fine.
Fucking hell.
Right, Baron Stockton on Tees, will you shut up in the gallery, please? Thank you.
Fuck off.
Right, you fuck off, mate. I withdraw that. Home Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So I'll answer the honourable member's question because why not?
Debate.
Shut up. So last session issue, I did check how many people are on, and we had a whopping 13 people on shift. So we're getting activity semi back. So
Aye, whoppers,
the Metropolitan Police is needed to police the game to stop people running around shooting everyone. And I believe that the Commissioner and Deputy Commissioner have got what it takes to set up a competent and reliable police force.
Yeah.
It was not fake news, Charles. You roomplex.
Prime Minister.
Following on from what the Home Secretary said, we do believe that the Metropolitan Police can only go up from here. What was neglected last time? Well, sorry, not what was neglected. There was no commissioner currently to fill the head role. This government, have appointed such. We've also appointed a competent deputy commissioner to assist the commissioner in his duties. We are confident that both of these appointed individuals will be able to bring activity back to the Metropolitan Police Force to corroborate our growing activity in game.
Callum. Oh, is also bring someone. Callum, do you want to speak, or are you just bringing Freak Sublime? Okay. Oh, didn't need to end that. Are there any further points of debate? Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Yeah, I'll bring up a debate. Since speeding is like a crime, is it wise that a F1 person is in government? Because that's encouraging speeding, and the Met would not like that.
Prime Minister.
It is correct that speeding is in fact an offence, but I'd argue that F1 drivers are exemplary drivers. On the road, they are not going to reflect their speeding habits on a track. The road and a racetrack are two completely separate things. I give way.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the Prime Minister for giving way, and can I just add on, can I just mention that throughout my whole time of owning Formula One, I've kept it completely out of the eyes of politics, and I will continue to do so. So would the Prime Minister agree with me in saying that the opposition should not be using something so good for this group as a political tool? Are you going to take your giveaway back?
Yeah, sorry. Following on from what the Chancellor Checker said, we do hope to keep Formula One and politics completely separate, as politicising F1 can only undermine its integrity.
Leader of the opposition.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to start this by saying, giving my condolences to the government man. I think it was an MP who was attacked by terrorists on the streets of London not too long ago. I would just like to. One of our own, right here. He's made a miraculous recovery, Mr. Speaker, and I'm happy to see him on his feet again. He does have a horrible beard. I would encourage him to shave that off. Anyway.
Right.
Resign.
Withdraw that.
I withdraw.
Lords, get back in your gallery.
I'm going, you cunt.
Anyway, I look forward to seeing how the Metropolitan Police will rise to tackle any further terrorist threats on our streets, as they are both an attack. Oh, sorry, I'm lagging so much. Hang on. They're an attack on our democracy. They're an attack on our way of life, and we must not allow things like this to ever happen again. I do welcome the government proposing this legislation. I know this is a little bit off topic, but I do welcome them proposing this legislation about the police. I think it's an important piece of legislation. It's one that has to be passed. I just want to say it is one that we did pass 2 years ago in ZUK. It's basically the same. But I'll get onto that when we debate the bill. But anyway, I look forward to seeing how the Metropolitan Police grows, and I think it has potential to be a great force in the coming weeks.
Prime Minister.
Killian, you can't say that, mate.
Okay.
Take that back.
I wholly concur with the leader of the opposition, and I'd like to also start by offering my condolences to the member of parliament who was murdered and revived. So it seems. I'd also like to state that we
on our
have
side?
worked alongside the Metropolitan Police to ensure that our streets are safer. We have informed the Commissioner and advised him on enacting Section 11 of the Public Order Act 2023 and Section 60, and therefore 60 AA of the Criminal Justice Act 1994, furthering police search powers. I give way to the Home Secretary.
Thank you, Prime Minister. So, as well as that, I have spoken to the Director General of the Security Service to also look into how these events happened and how we can stop these events from occurring again. I've also spoken to the Metropolitan Police Service about getting them to investigate the incident and how we can resolve the incident and how we can put their grieving families at rest of. And also, I'd like to give condolences to the MP who was unfortunately killed but magically resurrected.
I wouldn't.
I give away.
You don't need
Thank you. Yes, the Metropolitan Police is a vital part of this group, and it is there to prevent crime.
Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. In my experience of past ronations, certain high command officials in different Mets and other agencies have kind of gone rogue and tried to do their own thing and stuff like that without government, getting involved. How will this government? Again, open question. Please don't point of order.
Yeah, okay.
It's open, but it's for the government. How will they ensure that this doesn't happen and make sure that our high command remain professional and always listening to the government in some form?
Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the Home Office, as well as the Home Office Advisory Board, will be making sure that our agency executives and High Command are accountable for their actions, if they are negative or positive. And they will be rewarded as well as scrutinized for actions. We will also be opening a complaints type service like the IOPC, but within the Home Office to deal with such issues and to deal with complaints against high-ranking members of agencies such as the Metropolitan Police and the Security Service.
Prime Minister.
From what the Home Secretary said, we have been in contact over the past few days with the Commissioner and the Deputy Commissioner, and we can assure this House that the Deputy Commissioner has is releasing a series of guidelines regarding Metropolitan Police accountability and professional standards. We hope that these will be able to be implemented and prevent rogue I thank you, Freak Sublime, for wishing me to get well. But if I recall, a couple of days ago you were dead, so I hope you were well as well.
Charles is disconnected from the game.
Average Ohio internet, right there, mate.
Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Thank you. Yes, you do. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd just like to say I think the government have got it. I'm going to agree with the government here. I think that's a good idea. However, I hope that these independent bodies and other regulatory bodies can remain active and always vigilant. Because if not, then stuff could go down. It might be a bit messy. But I don't know. It doesn't seem to be a problem at the moment because the community is still growing. So hopefully it stays that way.
Secretary.
I'd like to thank the honourable member for his comment, and I will ensure that these agencies, as well as the advisory board, stays active and ready to deal with any issue that the Home Office needs to tackle.
We keep beating this dead horse debate. Should I start agreeing with you on that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, I'm going to do that then.
Right, Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Thank you, Speaker. Can I just say I completely agree with the Home Secretary on that point. I think it's a great thing that what he's doing, and I hope we can have more of these productive conversations because I think on this he's bang on the money.
Money shot.
I give way to the leader. I give way to the leader of opposition. I wasn't done.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd just like to say I also agree with what the member for Cumbria is saying. I agree with his agreement with the Home Secretary. I think it's important that we have a show of cross-party unity here. Over matters such as the Metropolitan Police. Like these matters go above petty party politics. At the end of the day, no matter what, we need police on the streets, and we need to ensure that police officers are active and are professional and are doing their job correctly. So I do commend their governments for their actions in doing this, and we will continue to ensure that they are carrying out their policies in a good way.
I'm still talking. I completely commend the leader of opposition, my right honourable friend, for what he said. I think he's bang on the money yet again, as he always is. I give way to the Prime Minister.
I'd like to say that I agree with the leader of the opposition, who agrees with the member for Cumbria about what the Home Secretary said. Yes, the Metropolitan Police is vital to our country, and working alongside them as government is one of our utmost priorities.
Oh yeah, it's still me. Mr. Speaker, I think this shows that the police are policing. The streets are safe-ish, and also inactive. The streets, yeah. I think this shows good cross-party unit. I hope we can have more of this. Let's get more of this, guys.
I'm bussing.
Right. Shots of the Exchequer. Doc, shut up.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The police force are metropolitan, and they are a service, Mr. Speaker, and that is the vital thing about it. The police look at the car and they say, "We will put blue lights on top of it."
Yeah, sure, fuck.
Wow.
And then they take that car, they take it on the street, and they look at the people who are doing bad things and they say, "Stop it." That's the way that they should do it. Mr. Speaker, we don't need police who say, "Keep doing that," because they are wrong. We need the police who are strong and ready to say, "You are not doing the right thing." Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Decamp.
Any further points of debate?
Can we get an extra patrol car, please?
Mr. Speaker, I think the Shadow. What's your face? What are you? Oh yeah, Shadow Chancellor. I think he's completely right, and I hope he continues to fund our great police and make sure they get the funding needed. What else?
Give way.
I give way to the right honourable gentle hands.
Mr. Speaker, I thank the member for giving way, and I can assure him that I am not one of those woke liberals, and I will not defund our police. I will make our police have lots of money to do lots of things, such as driving fast cars to stop bad people.
Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Mr. Speaker, if he's as woke as not woke as he says he is, Mr. Speaker, will he ensure that there are no woke propaganda machines in the police, that we just focus on policing, not policing speech?
Home Secretary.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd also like to know, will the Metropolitan Police Service have the money for Lamborghinis? And to answer the round question, the police force will be focusing on policing, not gay rights. The entire point of the Metropolitan Police Service is to police, Mr. Speaker, not to prance around with gay flags and go, "Oh my God, look at me, I'm gay." It is to police the public and stop.
What a non-toxic community in Parliament here.
To stop people who think that because they think they're a woman and they've actually got a penis, doesn't mean because someone called them a man, they can be arrested.
End the femboy division.
God's toss of the Exchequer.
Well, Mr. Speaker, I can assure the Home Secretary that lots of money to do lots of good things, not bad things, will be given. However, I hate to disappoint him, but Maybe not Lamborghinis. There still needs to be some money to pay my salary, Mr. Speaker.
Oh,
Member of Parliament for Cumbria.
Mr. Speaker, that was an absolutely self-serving comment by the Chancellor there. I'm appalled by that. But anyway, this has been fun. But I motion to adjourn.
Is there a second to that motion?
I
Prime
second.
Minister?
I
Oh,
second.
Mr.
No,
Speaker.
wait. All right, yeah. I was gonna
Right.
say, Hayden
That's
needs
it.
money so he can
Order.
give it to charity.
Yeah,
Right,
charities
the
that I've
question-
registered.
Right, order. The question is that the question be put forward that this House does now adjourn. Those of that opinion say aye.
I
Maybe,
No.
maybe. Can have some time to think.
Right, I believe the ayes have it. The ayes have it.
Whoa, I need time to think.
Do order. That's that. Then we can all
Right.
leave, mate.
The question is that this House do now adjourn. Those of that opinion say aye.
Maybe.
No.
Maybe.
Right, I believe the ayes have it. The ayes have it. This House is now adjourned. Order.
Right, that's so rude. You're just not giving me the chance to think.
Uh-huh.
Oh shit! The fire alarm's going off, everyone. Please
But
evacuate.
don't give a fire alarm's not
evacuate the
funny.
palace.
Megaminder, could I?
Guys, get
Are you
to the
still
committee.
watching?
Evacuate the
You are.
palace.
Could I speak with you real quick?
Yeah, bro, I didn't say catastrophe.
Yeah, I'm aware, but can I speak with you, please?
Yes, you may.
Hello,